Hello my Beatles friends, welcome back to another video. It's a third video in the series of Beatles forgotten, unnoticed or weird songs that that only the die-hard fans know. So the two previous videos were kind of interesting and successful according to the views and comments and likes and subscriptions. By the way, thank you very much for that, and I hope you continue doing that. So in this video, I'd like to cover 4 songs by the Beatles which are less than a minute in length. And those are kind of weird kind of songs that you don't listen to every day, and radio stations do not play those songs. So the first weird song that I want to talk about is Wild Honey Pie, obviously. Released on White Album initially, it was written and recorded solely by Paul McCartney, but it was credited to Lennon-McCartney. And it was recorded on 20th of August 1968. Those were the same sessions when he recorded the Mother Nature's Son. George Harrison at the time with Patty, he was in Greece, and John and Ringo were finishing Year Blues in the other studio. It was a very tense moment between the Beatles at the time, so McCartney worked alone. The overdubs that he was doing, strumming the strings on the guitar and also adding the vocals, lead vocals, backing vocals, acoustic guitar, bass, drum, overdubbed together. But then he wanted to throw it away and he didn't want to include it on the album. But the only reason why this song appears on the album is because Pattie Boyd, George Harrison's wife then, liked it, and she convinced the Beatles to use it on the album. That's the only reason why it's on the album. The song is reference to another Paul McCartney song, Honey Pie, and it's only 52 seconds long, and it's sandwiched between Obladi Oblada and the Bungalow Bill. The critics say that thankfully it's a short one, and obviously people don't like that song, and all the lists that shorten the double White Album into a single album, that song obviously never makes the cut, along with Revolution 9, but Revolution 9 we'll be covering in different video. The only notable thing about that song is it was released as a B-side to Obladi Oblada in Venezuela only, as you can see in the following picture. And this single, which is officially released, is a very sought after and very rare. This is what Paul has to say about the song. We were in an experimental mode, and so I said, can I just make something up? I started off with a guitar and did a multi-tracking experiment in the control room, or maybe in the little room next door. It was very homemade. It wasn't a big production at all. I just made up this short piece and I multi-tracked a harmony to that and a harmony to that and a harmony to that, and built it up sculpturally with a lot of vibrato on the guitar strings, really pulling the strings madly, hence Wild Honey Pie, which was a reference to the other song I had written called Honey Pie. And this is a text from Mark Levinson book. A 53-second ditty called Wild Honey Pie, which was included on the Beatles' The White Album, the result of several solo overdubs, vocal, guitars and trumping bass drum onto a single basic track recording. Spontaneity was the key, and the finished mono master was in the can by session's end. That's it. So thanks to Pattie Boyd that we have this weird, bizarre track on the White Album. I mean, if anywhere this song had to be included, White Album is the right place. Next one, 2 songs from the Let It Be album. Dig It. It has quite a story. This song was recorded on 5 different sessions. But the most notable one that we actually know is 26th of January 1969. It was also mentioned on 24th, 26th, 27th, 28th and 29th of January 1969. The version that we know, as I said, the 26th, and it has 4 different versions. The album version that we know is 53 seconds long. The Get Back session by Glyn Johns, this one actually, has 4 minutes and 10 seconds. The full version is 8 minutes and 20 seconds, and the jam session is 15 minutes 5 seconds. What's interesting here, the notable, that on the jam session we also have vocals by Heather McCartney, Linda McCartney's daughter, but the vocals were omitted from the final version that we know. She was imitating Yoko Ono singing. Spoken word that we hear in the end of the song was actually taken from the 24th of January. This song is omitted from the Naked album, but it appears on the Fly on the Wall extra EP. Why this song appears on the album, I think it's because of the documentary movie that was coming out, and there is a quote by author Barry Miles writes, I quote, "A brief extract from an improvised 3-chord jam session that ran to more than 12 minutes on tape. Dig It was included on the album to boost its Verity credentials." So I think just because there was a parallel movie coming out, they included the song on the album because it appears also in the movie. But other than that, no critics, no fans include that song as one of their favorites. Quite the contrary. That song finds itself in the bottom of that list. The song personnel includes all 4 Beatles members, and also George Martin and Billy Preston. And, like I said, in the jam session, Heather McCartney imitating Yoko Ono vocals, but she was omitted from the final album version. Dig It concludes with a sentence spoken by Lennon in falsetto. That was Can You Dig It by Georgie Wood, and now I'd like to do Hang the Angels Come. Georgie Wood was a 4/9 music hall performer and a child star. And Hark the Angels Come, it is English Christmas carol that first appeared in 1739 in the collection of hymns and sacred poems. Next one, another song from the Let It Be album, Maggie May, recorded also on 24th of January 1969, same session as the first version of Dig It. It's a traditional song and it's credited as arrangements to all 4 Beatles. Just like Dig It also was credited to all 4 Beatles as the writers, here it's credited as arrangement all 4 Beatles. It's the first cover song by the Beatles after 1965, and the last one. It's also omitted from the Let It Be Naked album, but it also appears on the Fly on the Wall bonus EP, and it is 15 seconds longer than the original. The original is 40 seconds, is the second shortest Beatles song, but on the Fly on the Wall EP it appears on 15 seconds longer. Why this song appears on the album is because that song was a constant song by the Quarrymen before forming of the Beatles, and also it is known that in late 70s, shortly before his death, John Lennon also was singing that song. So it shows that he's emotionally attracted to that song. So this song meant a lot to him. So that's why he wanted to include it on the album. What's interesting about this song is that this song is performed by Paul McCartney in the 5th movie of Pirates of the Caribbean in the character that he plays, Uncle Jack. The personnel of Maggie May, all 4 Beatles appear. And the last song for today, with the song that appears on Abbey Road, Her Majesty. Recorded on 2nd of July 1969, it's the shortest Beatles song ever recorded, 23 seconds, and the first example of hidden track. There were 3 takes recorded by Paul before everybody else came. Lennon was still in the hospital, so George and Ringo came later, and Paul McCartney lives not far away from the Abbey Road studio, so as usual he comes earlier and starts to work, and he recorded that song in 3 different takes, but then he wasn't satisfied with it and he wanted to throw it away. But there was a guy whose name was John Kurlander. He was instructed not to throw away any material recorded by any of the Beatles, so he kept it. Interesting that this song was put by Paul to use in the Abbey Road medley. So originally it was between Me and Mr. Mustard and Paul Thing Pam. And you can hear actually the first chord of Her Majesty is the last chord of Me and Mr. Mustard. and by the editing mistake, the last chord of Her Majesty was cut. The decision to omit that song from the medley was made on 30th of July 1969. John Herlander put that song 14 seconds after the album finished, and he showed it to McCartney, and McCartney approved it, and he let him keep that song. But by that time, the sleeve and the label of the album were already pressed, and so that's why this track became a hidden track, because there was not enough time to print the track on the sleeves and labels. That was corrected on the later issues on the labels, but still it never appeared on the sleeve. That's all has to say about that song. It's quite funny because it's basically monarchist with a mildy, disrespectful tone, but it's very tongue-in-cheek. It's almost like a love song to the Queen. Those of us who have the Abbey Road Deluxe Anniversary box set, which came out a couple of years ago, there is a song which is called Long One, and that song appears in the medley sequence as it was intended originally. Now there could be a very interesting trivia question. Name the song which last chord is the first chord of the Beatles' last song. That's a very interesting very interesting trivia question. It's going to confuse participants, just for fun. All right, so that was my take on 4 bizarre and strange Beatles songs that only die-hard fans know about. And tell me what you think. If there's any facts that I missed about those songs, please tell me, write me in the comment section below, and please consider subscribing to this channel. And in my next video I will try to cover the another most bizarre and longest Beatles song, and yeah, more videos to come. So thank you very much for watching, and see you in my next video.